Tracy Sherman.
Robert Carr,
Vinny Canadella.
Mike Uso.
Joe Ayuji.
and Pledge of Allegiance. Everybody please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Excuse me. Do we have any amendments to the agenda?
I believe section 10, executive session, section B, you were looking to table that?
I think we'll just table that when it comes up.
Okay.
Everybody okay with that? Okay. And approval of minutes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the 4/8/2025 Board of Ed regular meeting minutes.
Is there any discussion on those minutes?
Second.
Sorry. None? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Abstained? Motion carries.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the 5/13/2025 Board of Ed regular meeting minutes.
You have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on these minutes? Great. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? And the motion passes. Audience of citizens. No? Nobody wants to talk? Okay. Hearing none, we'll move on. Information items from our, we didn't have any correspondence. I didn't get any.
Yeah, I got, did you guys get the substance abuse prevention story?
Oh,
Yeah. I didn't even summarize this, yes, but we got an email from somebody who looked to do a school speaking, I believe, in education around substance abuse and was just offering services to us. That was the only thing I got though.
Nah, sorry, Brandon.
On Thursday, May 29th, seniors at OHS had their annual field trip to Holiday Hill, where they were able to participate in a wide variety of games and activities, along with having access to various foods and drinks throughout the day. Last Thursday, Friday, yesterday, and today were exam days for seniors at OHS. 2 periods each day where exams for seniors took place. On Friday, June 6th, seniors at OHS and kindergartners from Quaker Farms participated in the onward and upward ceremony. The seniors and kindergartners began at opposite end zones on the football field and then met at midfield. And they exchanged gifts, with the kindergartners giving the seniors a congratulations card that they made in class. And the seniors gave the kindergartners future graduate shirts that they will grow into. And finals for all underclassmen begin tomorrow and will continue until Monday next week. There will be 2 final periods each day. On Thursday, OHS seniors will participate in the grad walk, where they will walk through all 4 schools. And once they return to the high school, they will have the senior luncheon. On Friday, seniors have the senior breakfast and graduation rehearsal. And also Friday night is when the senior lock-in happens. And that will begin at 9:30 p.m. and end at 6 a.m. Saturday morning. Graduation will take place on Monday at 6:30 p.m. Prior to graduation, seniors will participate in the graduation parade at 4:30. And since this is going to be my last meeting for this year, I just want to take a moment to thank all of you for this opportunity. And I've learned a lot from observing these meetings, and I've enjoyed being one of the student representatives, so thank you.
I actually went to the thing on the football field. It was pretty cool. Lots of, not many dry-eyed parents that day. Or
admins.
All right. Right, so report of the superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Carr. I want to give you an update on the 2 searches that we have going on, and as well as the summer programs that are being planned and will be initiated very, very soon. So on the assistant superintendent search that has closed, we have a large number of qualified candidates, somewhere in the range of 40 to 50. I've conducted about 12 Zoom interviews with people who seemed particularly promising, or in those cases where you had people who simply wanted to learn more about the district, and that was available to them in the posting. Megan is going to, and I are going to do a final run through these on Thursday. And I understand, I talked to Dr. Marino today, and understand he's going to be here Monday and Tuesday of next week. And so we're going to have a set of very promising finalists available for him to look at that time. He can, of course, supplement that with other candidates or candidates that he knows of that who may be interested. But this will provide a base. And again, I think it's very promising. Every person that we would be presenting has some type of a promising track record, has a special ed background, has a 93 certificate, and many come from very fine districts where they've accomplished a lot. So this is a very, very promising situation. We also have a search going on for the new assistant principal at the elementary level, and on that, again, large number of candidates. I think we're up to about 50 on that so far. Our two principals have formed a school-based selection committee comprised of themselves, teacher representatives, and a parent representative from each school. The first round of interviews, which will be Zoom or video interviews, will occur next week, and I believe the second round is scheduled for the first week of July. That group will be sending to the new superintendent one or two recommended finalists, and for the superintendent to interview. This is a position that does not start until the end of August because it's a 10-month position. But the finalists will all be vetted in a way that they are available to start on August 25th if they're selected. So again, we've got this is keyed up, I think, in both cases, and should go very smoothly in terms of the 25th start date of August for the assistant principal, and hopefully sometime mid-July for the assistant superintendent. I wanted to chat with you a little about summer program planning and where we are with that. I know the board has expressed interest and concern about the ESY program, and we also have another summer enrichment program that occurs each summer. So on ESY, for those of you not familiar, that acronym stands for Extended School Year, right? And it is for special education students whose IEP requires a continuation of learning during the summer in order to avoid learning regression during the 8 weeks of the summer break. So this determination is made based upon the individual circumstances of the student and their needs, and of course, how their parent feels about this and their availability and so on. So based on that criteria, we have 87 students who will be enrolled in the ESY program this summer. The program will run 5 days a week. The K-12 segment is from 8:30 to 11:30 each day. And then there is a preschool program, the ESY program, 4 days a week. And the 3-year-olds are 8:30 to 10:15, and the 4-year-olds are 10:30 to 12:30. So there are a good number of staff involved in this. We have one physical therapist, an occupational therapist, 2 speech language pathologists. There is a contracted behavioral technician and a board certified behavioral analyst that supervises the 2 behavioral technicians. In terms of instructional staff, there are 12 teachers, a reading consultant, 16 paraprofessionals. And as you may be aware, we're going to have significant HAVAC work being done at Quaker Farms and also in a portion of GOES. So the site for the ESY program this year is going to be at the middle school. And furniture will be moved, age-appropriate furniture will be moved from both Quaker Hill and GOES to the middle school for use in these classrooms during the time that is in session. Linda Casella will serve as the program supervisor and coordinator. She has done a large part of the planning for this along with Megan. And there's 2 days where she is going to be out of town, actually out of the country, and those are going to be covered by Principal Amy Massette. So I think we have this. I think the staff has this well in hand and well planned, and looking forward to serving students during the summer. If you have a question, just please interrupt me as I go along. The second program is the Summer Enrichment Program. This is the program run by Stephen Giacomi. It is sponsored by the district. The district provides the facilities and serves as the fiscal agent for handling the payments. This is a paid for participation program. Right? So this year, the families who want 3 hours per day of these enrichment activities will pay $250. If you can also do it for an hour and a half per day for $125. And the cost of the program, based on current costs and compared to prior costs, is approximately $20,000 to run. You need an enrollment of about 120 students in a combination of that 125 and 250 tuition in order to make this work and make it paid for itself. Currently, we have about 100 students enrolled for revenue of about $16,000. So we have a $4,000 gap at this time. Historically, there have been a good number of students who register at the last minute. So the hope that is going to be closed to some degree. However, there is a possibility that the program revenue will have to be supplemented by the district. If that occurs, it's going to be in the area of 1,000 or 2,000. And I think longer term, as this gets harder and harder to meet in today's economy, you can only raise the tuition price so high before you will use the students. It is probably going to be a good idea in the next year's budget to plan for some type of a small supplement if the intent is to keep this program going and viable. This is going to be held in one wing of the Great Oak Elementary School this summer. This is the wing that is not affected by the HAVAC work. And the staff, besides Stephen Giacomi, are teachers who will do this on a part-time basis during the summer, college students, and others who have a specific activity that they can, enrichment activity that they can sponsor. And this ranges all the way from recreational activities to cooking to arts and so on, but it is truly a summer enrichment program. So I think the planning for that is largely complete at this point. We're just waiting to get some more registrations in. And that, along with the ESY, will we'll have close to 200 students enrolled and on the between the middle school and the GOES campus this summer.
Okay.
Questions on that? Okay. I've modified my report, given the amount that you have on the agenda tonight and the upcoming appointment, so that'll do it for me.
All right, so we have number 7, action items, appointments of certified personnel. I don't see a C. Was it the,
Oh, okay.
what was it?
Reception for the superintendent.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so he will be here in an hour, so maybe you want to extend your remarks a little bit?
Well, we had, at the time that was, the agenda was published last
Yeah,
Friday morning, we had thought that the appointment would be on the 24th and a reception would follow. We obviously have a different plan at this point.
okay, so action items, appointments of certified personnel.
Do you want me to make a motion for the whole or individually?
Well, they're here, so let's
Okay.
recognize them.
I'll accept the first one's not here. Just-
Grace is not here.
Still make the motion for it, but I'd like to make a motion to appoint certified personnel Grace Nisbet, school psychologist at Oxford Middle School.
Second. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Abstain? And the motion carries.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint certified personnel Ellen Knapp as principal, Oxford Middle School. Interim, I'm just reading it. Interim assignment.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone.
Ellen, would you like to say a word?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
We gotta stretch it out.
Yeah. For this opportunity, I'm glad that I can step into this role. You know, Sylvia and I have worked really closely for the past 4 years, so I'm sad to see her go, but grateful for the opportunity to be able to continue the great work we've been doing. And Mr. Rich and I have already started planning, and we look forward to working together. And I'm just grateful for your support. So thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Oh, Next thing on.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint certified personnel Aaron Rich as assistant principal, Oxford Middle School, interim assignment.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? And all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Congratulations, Aaron. If you'd like to go ahead. A little longer.
I just want to take an opportunity to say thank you. I'm honored to be in this position. I'm excited to continue my work in Oxford. I've been a part of this district for a long time, and I'm happy to continue this work here. I'm excited to work with Ellen. Like she said, we're already getting things going and getting ready to plan for next year. And I'm excited to do this work. So thank you all for this opportunity.
Thank you. Congratulations again. Okay, 7B, acceptance of resignations. Certified staff.
I'm not gonna do individual.
Oh, well, we
so-
can't do the last
Last one is on.
Do you want me to make a motion to accept?
one. Yeah, let's do them all at the same time.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the list of resignations for certified staff as attached to the board docs.
I'll second. And any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Would you like to say something, Howard?
Not really. That wasn't a question. I just want to, well, first of all, I just want to say, I didn't make this decision lightly. And I'm sorry that I had to do it, but I did it. That's what I thought was best for me in my career at this point in time. I do want to thank all of you for all the support the 2 years that I've been here, through the budget process, through everything that we've done together and moved the district forward, because I think we've done a lot of great things. I want to thank all the admins that I've worked with in central office through the district. I want to thank them for making my job easier and working together as a team. And then most of all, I do, because they never get mentioned, the staff of central office, who work tirelessly behind the scenes to keep the district functioning. And again, they're not on the front lines, they're not the teachers, but without them, the district doesn't function. And I just want to mention them by name if that's okay.
Yeah.
So I know it's Marlene Anderson, it's Ruth DeLeon, Danielle Rutzon, Marie Conicelli, we have Marilyn Gottschall, we have Stephanie Melendez, Gino Palaccia, and Beth Murphy. And I know he's not in central office, but Alex Gottschall, who's sitting here, is also critical to this district. All of them work tirelessly, and I think they need to be recognized because they never get mentioned, but they do their work every day. And because they do their work and they do it at the level that they do it, it makes my job easier. So I just want to thank them personally and in public for what they did to help make my job easier. So thank you all.
Thank you. You want to say something? I know you may have done it before, but you're closer to leaving.
Yeah, and it's making it even harder. But I think I did it last board meeting, I'll say it again. Again, my decision wasn't taken lightly, like Howard's. It was a very difficult decision. But it's a step in my career to be focused on special education and really that being my only focus. So again, the admin team, we are a great team. We work very collaboratively in this small district, so I can't do it without them. As well as the central office team. I won't name everyone again with the same thing. Without them, I can't do my job every day. Dr. A and Dr. Miller at the time for the support you've given me this whole time, and then for the board for trusting in me to do the job. I appreciate it, and please know again, I'm a phone call away. So whatever you need, I'm happy to help in any way.
I think Deb has something.
Oh.
I won't make it.
Oh, thanks.
Just on behalf of the board.
Well, I want to personally thank both of you. Congratulate everybody that got appointed. And we didn't really cut enough time off, but we'll get there. So thank you to everybody, those of you got appointed, those of you leaving. It's a big hit to leave, for you to leave, to lose you two. All right, so the train keeps rolling. So action item 7C, approval of job description for elementary assistant principal position, and it is attached.
I would just mention that this was developed by the two elementary principals and reviewed by me and focused on the kinds of supports that they felt they most needed when this position was approved in the budget, which I think you've had a rendition of that. And this has been incorporated into the description in terms of the areas of emphasis, and the candidates that we have are largely focused on those areas.
Want me to make a motion?
Yes, please.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the job description for elementary assistant principal as attached.
Second.
Discussion.
I just have a question. Why are we approving it if it's already been posted?
Because to fill the position, you need to have the position. So
Oh,
this
so
is
we're
a
creating
new,
the position.
you're creating the position. This is a new position that has not existed before. It's budgeted for, but it does not exist. By approving the description of duties, you're creating that position, which enables us to fill it.
Yeah, I do. This is something that I feel like has been very needed. When I took over the chair in October, I had meetings with all four principals and both the Quaker Farms principal Rachel and the Ghost principal Amy. I spent 45 minutes with them talking about this. So I think it's a good idea, and if no one else has anything to say,
It's been vetted through the union, agreeable to the language and the union has no problem with the language of the job description.
No, this would be a part of the Oxford Administrators Association
Right.
Union, and they have no problem with it. The president is here. We talked about it. I think I might frame that a little differently. I think they're excited to have this position.
anybody else? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. And we have 7D, approval of job description for 6 to 12 Dean of Students / Athletic Director attached.
So this is the merger of two positions, which you have discussed relative to the organizational plan earlier in the year. This would be the climate, the school conduct coordinator's position, the current school conduct coordinator's position, and the athletic director's position. So this is a merger, which we have found is not an unusual merger. The duties and responsibilities are focused in both areas, athletic administration, as well as the duties of a dean of students that would serve both high school and middle school. Again, this is consistent with your recent emphasis on creating 6-12 approaches to many of these services. And this is a 12-month administrator's work year, so that the athletic services can be expanded during the summer in terms of summer programs, practices, which are now allowed and encouraged by the CAAC, and other types of summer programming. This is a full-time job with flexible hours. The hours have to be flexible given some of the evening and afternoon commitments. And I've worked closely with Mr. Houston on framing this. And this is a rigorous job, but he thinks it's doable. And it will certainly be a very good contribution, I think, and complementary contribution to both the middle school and the high school next year.
Okay. Motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the job description for 6 to 12 Dean of Students, Athletic Director, as attached.
Do we have any discussion?
Funding, where is it coming from? So we didn't budget for it.
Yes, so you have the full-time athletic director in the budget, and you have the conduct coordinator position in the budget. This is a merger of the two. And it creates a partial offset for going from 1 to 2 special ed positions. In other words, filling both the director and the supervisor.
And how is the time, like, how do you divvy that up? Like, isn't there gonna be some overlap sometimes? Like, what have you got to be at a game and you've got an issue with a student and?
Well, there are, first of all, in terms of school discipline, that is the primary responsibility of the assistant principal at the middle school and at the high school. The dean of students should be working on more generic systemic issues. So for example, attendance, vaping, if vaping is a problem at the high school. Those kinds of things that involve working with groups of students, as well as being available individually for some of the more complex discipline issues and investigations as noted in the description of duties. But there will always be someone at the school to handle an immediate discipline problem or a immediate student issue.
Anybody else? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries.
right.
I feel like I'm kind of being strong armed.
Really?
How long do you
I get
want
that a
me
lot.
to- How long do you want me to
We've
take
got,
care?
30 minutes.
No, I just want to say that, I'm excited, to start this new position. I think that this really, it means a lot to me because it shows that you trust me with more than just athletics. You trust me with the students in the buildings. You trust me to build relationships, and you've seen my ability to do that, with the student athletes. And you know that it's going to extend beyond that. And my goal has always been to reach out to every student as much as I possibly can. So this kind of gives me the avenue to do that. And I've been building administration before, so I'm going to, go back into that background as well and hope to continue growth and continue expansion of the collaborative effort we've done with athletics in 612 and, continue the work I've been doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now that you have created the position, I'm able to appoint Mr. Houston. So that was a great speech from someone who had a better plan.
Now, I'm assuming Mr. Carr wants another one now that I've been
Yeah,
appointed.
yeah.
It's gonna be here in about 30 minutes.
That's fine, I'm sure.
Yeah, sure. No, that's Jeff.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Jen.
Good job. We can do that. Does anybody, we can move 10A up? Is that appropriate for everyone?
Oh, I could do, I have a policy read that we have to do. Do you want to do that?
Subcommittees.
Yeah,
Subcommittee report?
let's do subcommittees. Everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking at, he's telling me 7:35. Okay, so we're gonna move down to subcommittee reports. So Joe, facilities.
As planned, the high school bathroom project is 99% completed and will be in use for the graduation like we expected, so I'm glad to hear about that. HVAC process continues at GOES. There was roof repair as well at GOES. The potholes at Quaker Farms are going to be addressed in the next coming weeks and hopefully taken care of so nobody loses any more tires with that. Air Temp has been working at Quaker as well. They're going to continue that project throughout the summer, and we're still planning for other summer projects along the way. Any questions?
Beautiful. Okay. Curriculum.
We meet tomorrow at 5.
That didn't help them.
No, I
It's gonna be, we're gonna have our meeting now. The lawyer stuff, that'll take a while.
Somebody almost got a birthday.
All right, so policy and quality. We have 2 policies down for second read. The first one is the regarding restorative practices. And as you may recall, this is a policy that we need to implement by July 1st, 2025. The policy directs that district administrators are to develop a continuum of strategies to prevent, identify, and respond to challenging behaviors, including but not limited to bullying and harassment. So this is down for a second read. Does anybody have any questions about the language of the policy? All right, so hearing none. Do you have any questions?
No, just quick. So this is tied into the extended legislation for reporting.
Yeah, I mean, everything just keeps
It's all kind
building
of
on
tied
each other.
together.
Yeah. Okay. So I'd like to make a motion that we approve the policy as written.
Second.
Any discussion? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries.
Okay, and the second policy we have is visitors and observations in school. I think there was a question last time about what's really changed. The only thing that's changed is how our administrators would act if there's federal visitors that have to do with ICE coming here. And there's a protocol that's been put in place. That's new. It's part of the school security and safety plan, and if we had any questions about that, it would probably be something we do in executive session.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions?
Have we, has that happened? That has not happened, right? Okay.
Is this tied to, again, state legislation?
That's a good question. Let's see.
The
No, I
protocol,
think it's just what's happening in the news and making sure that administrators know what to do if this situation arises. And having a protocol.
the protocol itself was state developed.
Yes.
State legal advice and endorsed by the State Department of Education.
Right. Okay,
Any questions, concerns, comments? All right, hearing none, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the visitors and observations and school policy as written.
Second.
discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries.
And that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nicole. Steve?
Yeah, so we just met with Howard prior to this meeting. We reviewed the May financial package. So currently, we spent $29.6 million. There's another 4.9 is encumbered, and there's another 684 in process. Based on some of the information we have coming in from the state excess grant, which is ahead of our budget, we're projecting to probably be underutilized by $300K coming into the end of the year. We reviewed grant spending and what will carry forward from the IDA grants into next year. What was finishing up for grants. We did a summary review of the central student activity funds. And then covered some of the personnel report with people coming in the leaders. In addition, I want to congratulate Howard, coming into this year, we had a projection for all the utility, electrical forecast with the unknown of all the community funds from Eversource and UI. It was a big air wall for us. We didn't know where we were going to be. Howard forecasted it based on his analysis within $4,000 at this point on an $850,000 electrical bill. So as always, Howard, great work, consistent delivery, great forecasting, and I'll say you're really going to be missed. You made our job easy to trust and move forward and know what we need to know to do our job. So I really appreciate you for the last 2 years greatly. Thank you. One more thing. So every month, as you guys know, we have to transfer funds per policy, so not like a traditional corporate work. You're over budget. We realign line items. So we didn't do April's last meeting, so we're gonna need a motion, which I'll make, to approve the budget journal realignment entries for April and May. Do I need to do them separate, in April and May, or can I do them together? Okay, as well as May, so you guys have the actual printouts in front of you, standard operating procedure across the board and policy, so I'll make a motion to approve the journal entry realignment per Howard's analysis. It's in front of you for the month of April and May.
Do you have any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. All right. I think we'll do now.
Bobby, wait 1
I just
second.
have one thing.
Yeah.
There was something mentioned before, Dr. Adamowski's report about the summer program, the enrichment program.
Yes.
And we mentioned putting into the budget. So one of the things that we've talked about all the year is central activities having excess funds, right? So I think it would behoove you as the board to look at the central activities as a way to supplement that program to keep it going. Because there's sufficient enough funds in there that you could do it for multiple years going forward. Even if you just looked at, when I was looking at the report, I think there's a workman's comp line, and there's a general activities, and then I think there was no rental activity, but there's a rental activity balance. So between those three, there's I would say $90,000. that could easily supplement that program, the extra 2,000, as opposed to having to put into the operating budget and increase that budget. So I just want you to be aware that that's something you should think about going forward as a use of those funds. Because I think it is an important program
Mhm.
for the town and for the students, but I think that's the way you can help them keep that program going.
Great.
Okay, that's what I just wanted to let you know.
Thank you, Alan.
Bobby, is this a motion we should make to make sure that before the summer hits, if we have a deficit, that we can cover it?
Yeah.
We could do that.
Yeah.
I'll toss it out.
If you were to appropriate up to $4,000, that would be sufficient.
I'd like to make a motion to allocate funds up to $4,000 to supplement the summer enrichment program if they fall short of their intended budget numbers. And to pull that funds from the the activities fund, specifically
Yeah,
workman's comp,
you can say general activities, that's easier.
general activities.
Steve seconded. Do we have any discussion on this?
Is 4,000, I know we said 4,000, but is there any possibility cancellations or anything like that? Should it have been a little higher in case?
Well, the 16,000 that they have now to use does not include the registrations that would come in at the last minute.
Okay.
So that's why the up to 4,000. I think that anything that would occur of that nature, we can certainly cover within this amount. And obviously, we're not going to look to spend more than that.
All right, thank you.
Anybody else? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. All right. So I'm getting 7:35. I think we can probably
Do executive session.
go into executive session, and then discuss everything, and then come out and vote.
Awesome. I'd like to make a motion to enter into executive session at 7:15 for the purpose of discussion and possible action regarding terms and conditions of employment of the chief operating officer. Wait a second.
Second, anybody?
Second.
All right. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. So he should be, if you want to stay, in meeting,